I think over the last few generations, centuries, that love has been interpreted by being weak. What do you think? I think this is what I felt when I was a child growing up. But what I'm realizing, what I now know, this is how I see love. I used to work in forestry, and I was driving down an old Forest Service road. I think it was deactivated, which meant nobody went down there. And we came up in this truck upon a mama bear with 3 cubs. They didn't hear us for some reason. And so we got a good look at the cubs playing and climbing all over the mama bear. And she was sitting all chill, and the cubs were just playing on her, right? Total love, absolute total love. And then she caught wind of us, and immediately she goes, and she barks and she jumps up, and those cubs flew so fast up the tree. And she was at the bottom of the tree standing guard. And we slowly drove past her and let her be. But that image has stayed in my mind since then. This was like 2 decades ago that I worked in forestry. This is what love is. This is fierce love. Love has boundaries. Love is a mama bear. That is how women are designed to love. To move through being so playful and gentle and nurturing and nourishing to you are not touching my cubs, and you cubs better listen to me now because I'm the boss. Get up the tree. And somewhere along the way, humanity has forgotten that that's the love of a woman. The love of a woman is fierce. It is nourishing and nurturing and kind and joyful and playful, but it is also fierce. And when a woman is boundaryless, when she is not succinct with her no's and her yeses, when she is not living life in accordance to her values, when she is overgiving in people pleasing or in a chameleon like place or is totally shut down, she does not have access to that true fierce love. And that is a big, big result of what's going on in the world right now. Women are either hardened in their hearts or they're collapsing and like wet noodles. And I used to be a wet noodle. Like I say that with so much love because, oh my goodness, I was the ultimate yes woman, and I would just give and give and give and give. And what did that result in? Resentment of the worst kind. Cutting people out of my life because I couldn't stand to continue in my people-pleasing ways and I didn't know any better. Oh my goodness, was it painful. And how did I resolve that? Through boundaries, through taking radical care of myself in a devotional sense. That when I am devotional to myself, the love that I have to give into the world magnetizes to my right people, to my family, to my friends, and to my clients. Oh my goodness, it overflows. This is what happens when a woman has boundaries. She becomes a mama bear. She is a mama bear. Whether you have children or not, women are mama bears at heart. when a woman is open-hearted yet fierce with her boundaries. Remember, boundaries aren't about keeping people out. They are about devotional self-care. They are devotion, not defense. When she does this, she changes future timelines. When you start taking care of yourself, you change your lineage lines. You change the future timeline for the entire planet. Now, that's a big thing for me to say. And I know that it's true because I have witnessed it in my own family system and all of my friends and my own life. I've witnessed it. A woman with an open heart isn't sentimental, isn't too emotional, isn't weak. A woman with an open heart feels deeply because she knows that her emotional connection is power. She knows that the more that she can lean herself into grief, into pleasure, the greater expression of joy is felt on the planet. She knows that when she has an open heart, that even if you're in conflict, even if someone's crying, her body can hold that and she doesn't have to run away. And people feel safe. And she feels safe because she knows when she needs to take care of self and when she can take care of other. And a woman with an open heart speaks clearly. And oh my goodness, just imagine what would happen in the world if our children knew how to speak their needs, communicate their emotions. And then on the other side of someone who has a voice is someone who knows how to deeply listen. When you hold an open heart, you can deeply listen. And this is some of the biggest pain that's out there in the world, is that people don't feel heard. And so they go into defense. And this is where fighting starts. So we can sit back and open our hearts because we know we are boundaried, because we have Mama Bear inside of us, knowing when it's time to rest and when it's time to be in service and when it's time to relax and play. This is a lineage of love that we're birthing into the world, that we're transforming into the world through our Mama Bear natures of being women, of having open hearts. When you stop fighting yourself, meaning you know what I'm talking about, those words inside of your head, that voice inside of your head saying, oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you're so fat. Oh, you're so ugly. I can't believe you did that. Oh, how could you send that text message? Oh, how could you say those words? When that stops, because you are in devotion to your heart, to your womb, to your voice, to your experience on the planet, that's an internal fight inside of you. When that stops inside of you, that ripples out and stops the fight outside in the world. You shift yourself into safety, into pleasure, into joy, into hope and expansion and vision. You become highly discerning. You know, there's danger, just like the mama bear knew. Truck, danger. I'm going to take care of my cubs. But you know, as soon as we were gone in that truck, she chilled out again and went back to play. So that's what we're designed to do. And when you do that, when you anchor yourself into safety, you anchor in a new grid. It's sometimes known as a grid of love that ripples through the world. It ripples. How many times have you, I know you've done this. The most recent one happened with me at one of the grocery stores here that I live. And I used to work in a grocery store. It was one of my first jobs, cashier. It's a hard job. remembering all those codes and the same thing over and over again. It's a hard job. And customer service has changed just so much over 2 decades. And I find that most of the time going through the cash registers, I don't often have a great experience. Or it's kind of blah, I should say. It's just like whatever. But there's this woman and she's in her 70s. She told me this. She's in her 70s and she works as this cashier. And I adore her. And not because she's overly friendly, but because she's just herself. And one day I was coming through and I got this very strong feeling that I need to tell her that she's my favorite. And before I came through, she was talking to one of her colleagues. And I could see that it was like a heightened conversation. You know, when you work in hospitality or in the public, there's sometimes you're talking about things that are happening in the background. Well, this is what was going on. I used to do it when I worked in restaurants and stuff. And I didn't really know what was going on. I could just see the dynamic. And she's ringing through my groceries. And I just look at her and I say, I just want you to know that you are my favorite cashier. When I can, I come through your register. She stopped and she looked at me and tears started welling up in her eyes. And I understood in that moment that she'd been having a really hard day. That's what the exchange was that I was seeing as I came to her register. And me trusting that I wanted to share from my open heart how much I enjoy her, even though it's just this passing thing that happens and she may not remember me. That's what an open heart does. My voice is open. I'm willing to speak from my heart. I changed her. I don't know if she remembers me. I see her every so often. I always go through her register. We have a little funny exchange. Sometimes we talk about astrology. It's lovely. That has more impact than I will ever know. We hear stories like this, right? Like we hear stories of someone saying that they were having such a bad day and then a stranger commented on something or complimented them or offered them help. This is how powerful we are, but we can't do that when we are closed off. We have to be our mama bear selves. So when you stop abandoning yourself for the promise of love and you start being in devotion to your needs and yourself, that becomes medicine in the world. And then you are giving love freely, and love is returning to you freely. And this path is always available for you to step on. If you want to know exactly what patterns you're here to change, how you abandon yourself, go do my relationship archetype quiz. It's free. It gives you a video and all of these ways that you fit into this archetype, what your gifts are and where your struggles are and how you can start changing them. Thank you so much for being here and thank you so much for watching.